Hello and welcome back to our daily broadcast. Here come the headlines.
Vietnamese Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng held talks with Chinese counterpart Hu Jintao. National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng received German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Vietnam introduced tourism potential in Japan.
Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng and Chinese Party General Secretary and State President Hu Jintao held high-level talks in Beijing on October 11th, following an official welcome ceremony given to the Vietnamese leader.
The two leaders expressed their delight at the rapid and comprehensive development of the Vietnam-China relationship in all fields since the two countries normalized relations 20 years ago. They affirmed that the Vietnam-China friendship is a valuable asset of the two parties, nations and peoples, and needs to be constantly developed and transferred to future generations. The two leaders held that there remained differences in bilateral relations regarding the East Sea issue and affirmed that the two countries should make greater efforts to avoid complicating the situation and patiently deal with the divergences through peaceful talks and negotiations. Earlier, the two-party chiefs held retreat talks. They agreed that the East Sea issue is not an overall issue in the Vietnam-China relationship, but a sensitive and complicated issue for the two parties and states as it relates to the national sovereignty of both countries. The two leaders agreed that the two nations need to resolve the issues patiently from a strategic height for the benefit of the two peoples, in line with international law as well as the Vietnam-China neighborly needs and traditional friendship. A satisfactory and reasonable solution can be found that meets the aspirations of both peoples, especially the two countries had experience in addressing similar sensitive and complex issues such as land border demarcation and the delimitation of the Tonkin Gulf. After the talks, the two leaders witnessed the signing of important cooperation documents between the two parties and states, including the agreement on basic principles guiding the settlement of sea issues.
Also on October 11th, General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng met with Chairman of the Standing Committee of the Chinese National People's Congress, Yu Pengkuo.
Both leaders spoke highly of the effective cooperation between the parliaments and people-elected agencies of the two countries in recent years, especially in completing the leadership mode of the party and building a law-governed socialist state. They agreed that the two legislative bodies need to strengthen cooperation in a more practical and effective way, as well as step up coordination and mutual support at regional and world interparliamentary forums.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng hosted a reception in Hanoi on October 11th for German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who is on a two-day visit to Vietnam.
National Assembly Chairman Hùng expressed he wished that the Vietnamese and German parliaments would set up cooperative relations in the time to come. He spoke highly of the outcomes of the talks between Chancellor Angela Merkel and Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng, especially the signing of the Hanoi Joint Declaration to establish a strategic partnership between the two nations. For her part, Chancellor Merkel commended Vietnam's socio-economic achievements and affirmed that Germany wants to step up cooperative ties with Vietnam. Also on October the 11th, Chancellor Merkel attended the inauguration of a medical equipment factory invested by the German group B. Braun. This is the largest medical equipment factory in Vietnam. Covering an area of 100,000 square meters in outlying Thanh Hoa district of Hanoi, the factory was built at a cost of $54 million. It will produce modern medical equipment materials with international standards.
Vietnam is likely to earn more than $8 billion a month from exports in the fourth quarter of this year, thanks to advantages in terms of both price and market.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade reported that over the past 9 months, Vietnam's export saw growth in all markets, especially Africa and Asia. The Republic of Korea, China and Japan remained the biggest export markets of Vietnam in the January-September period. Statistics released by the ministry showed that Vietnam raked in $70 billion from exports, up 35.4% year-on-year. The export growth proved the efficiency of measures adopted by the government, which helped reduce lending interest rates and stabilize the foreign exchange market.
The Spanish Embassy in Vietnam launched 3 new Spain-funded projects to enhance the capability of Vietnamese key agencies in Hanoi on October 11th.
Accordingly, the Ministry of Labour, Invalid and Social Affairs will receive 1.79 million euros from the Spanish government in the 2011-2015 period to promote gender equality. The Women Development Center of the Vietnam Women's Association will get 690,000 euros to implement a project named The Peaceful House, which is designed to assist women and children who are victims of human trafficking to integrate into the community. Meanwhile, the Forestry Department, under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, will be provided with 215,000 euros to carry out a project on forest protection and building-related regulations. At an inauguration ceremony, Spanish Ambassador to Vietnam, Fernando Cusio said Spain wants to help Vietnam fulfill the UN Millennium Development Goals through enhancing capacity and institutions in hunger eradication and poverty reduction. Over the past 5 years, Spain has provided more than 150 million euros in official development assistance for Vietnam.
The Vietnam Buddhist Sangha will organize various celebrations at the Vietnam Buddhist Institute in Hanoi on November the 6th and 7th to mark its 30th founding anniversary.
At a press briefing on October the 12th, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha said highlight of the celebrations will be a meeting on November the 7th with the participation of 1,500 Buddhist monks, nuns and followers. During the meeting, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha will deliver a message to dignitaries and followers nationwide and report its outstanding achievements over the past 3 decades. Established on November the 7th, 1981, the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha now has 4 Buddhist institutes, almost 14,780 monasteries, with more than 46,000 monks and nuns.
Vietnamese and Russian youths gathered at the 6th Vietnam-Russia Friendship Melody Festival in Hanoi on October 12 to sing songs praising peace and friendship.
Jointly held by the Hanoi Union of Friendship Organizations and the Russian Embassy, the festival served as a bridge to enhance friendship, cooperation, solidarity and mutual understanding between the two countries' people. The event also offered a chance for young Vietnamese and Russian people to boost exchanges and learn about cultures of the two nations.
In an effort to promote Vietnam's image, culture and tourism's potential in Japan, the national flag carrier Vietnam's Allies organized a workshop to introduce program 4 countries, 1 destination to Nagoya, the capital city of Aichi Prefecture.
Governor of Nagoya said that Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar and Vietnam are attractive destinations to international tourists and Japanese visitors in particular. The governor said Aichi and the Vietnamese Ministry of Planning and Investment signed a memorandum of understanding in 2008 to increase the flow of investment from Aichi Prefecture in Vietnam. Around 60 businesses from Aichi are investing in the Southeast Asian country. Vietnamese ambassador to Japan Nguyễn Phú Bình noted Japanese tourists to Vietnam would find it easy to travel to Laos, Cambodia and Myanmar via flights of Vietnam Airlines and Japanese Airlines.
And that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again for watching.